Hello everyone, good day from wherever you're watching. You're all welcome to the Renewed Parenting Platform. And my name is Chioma Odikolo and I refer to myself as a renewed parent. You're welcome to class today. Today we'll be discussing about developmental milestones for toddlers. This is our second series. We started the series last week and we've been talking about developmental milestones for toddlers. And I said in my last video why I picked up this topic because I realized that most times we parents get overwhelmed, we get frustrated and sometimes angry when our children exhibit some tendencies that are developmentally okay. And I thought it wise to come teach us so we can learn and make better choices or better decisions when we see our children or our toddlers acting in a certain way. So today we'll be discussing about fine motor skills. But before we talk about fine motor skills, let us just have a little recap on what developmental milestones mean. So what is the meaning of developmental milestones? Developmental milestones are a set of goals or markers that a child is expected to achieve during maturation. So there are goals, there are markers that our children are expected to achieve. There are goals that are appropriate, markers that are appropriate within a certain age. So in this context, there are goals, there are markers that are expected for our children to achieve as toddlers. So today we'll be talking about fine motor skills. So what are fine motor skills? What is the meaning of fine motor skills? Fine motor skills, they are skills that refer to the ability to make, to make movements using our muscle. They are skills that help our toddlers to make movements using their muscles in their hands and in their wrists. Any skill that helps toddlers or that help us to move our muscle, move our wrist, they are referred to as fine motor skills. And these fine motor skills are very important because, our toddlers rely on these skills to do key tasks in school, to do key tasks everywhere at work. We need these skills at work because most times we move our muscle, we move our wrist, to do a lot of things. So fine motor skills are skills that we need in life. They are skills that we cannot do without. They are skills that we need to develop our toddlers to have so that when they get to the next stage of their life, they don't struggle. So what are the examples of fine motor skills? So I have a list here of some examples of fine motor skills. There are other ones, but we'll go through my list. Number 1, we have writing, drawing, and coloring. Number 2, we have cutting with scissors. Number 3, clapping hands. Number 4, waving. Number 5, using utensils for eating. Number 6, brushing our teeth. Number 7, tying our shoes. Number 8, turning up the pages of a book. And number 9, buttoning up a shirt. So these examples, they are things that we are quite familiar with. And sometimes as parents, we just think, okay, these things are just normal. It's just normal for a child to grow to learn how to do these things. But the truth is that we have to create the environment to teach our toddlers this. We have to encourage them to do it so that, they get competent in doing it so that they don't struggle when they get to the next stage of their life. So we're going to go through these examples, we're going to take them one after the other and see what are roles, what are we expected to do, with these skills. How should we teach our children the skills? How should we teach or encourage our toddlers to carry out the skills? Number 1, we have writing, drawing, and coloring. So as parents, it's our duty to encourage our toddlers to write. It's our duty to encourage our toddlers to draw. It's our duty to encourage our toddlers to color. We should create the right environment, to create the right resources for our toddlers to express themselves through writing, through drawing, and coloring. The thing is that sometimes what we parents do is that we prevent our children from writing, drawing, and coloring. Because sometimes we just say, no, I don't want my child to litter the house. I don't want my child to scatter the whole house. When my child colors, my child might spill the paint on the floor, or the child might color on the wall, or the child might color in an inappropriate place, because we don't want all these things. Or we might say, oh, the child might mess up the house might look messy. I want my house clean and sparkling. And because we want our houses clean, which is very good, we prevent our children from practicing this skill of building the muscles of their hands and of their wrists. So what are we expected to do as parents? As parents, our duty is to guide, to provide the right environment for our children. Yes, it's okay for us to provide the right environment. We can create a safe space. Okay, this is the space for you to do your drawing. This is the space for you to do your coloring. This is the space for you to do your writing. We teach our children what they are expected to do. We teach them how to pick up. When they are done, you need to tidy up your writing materials, your drawing materials, your coloring materials, and you need to keep it in a particular space. But when we prevent our children from doing this, our children will not have the opportunity to learn how to take care of, pick up after themselves or take care of these materials, that is the writing materials, the coloring materials, or the drawing materials. So our duty as parents is to create the right environment, provide for your children or your toddlers writing materials. Most of us parents, we get so scared, like, oh no, I don't want to give my child this. They are age appropriate writing materials. When you go to the market, you can get writing materials for a 1-year-old. You can get markers that a 1-year-old can use to write. You can get marker that your 2-year-old can use to write. You can get marker that your 3-year-old can use to write. They are age appropriate colors. They are colors you see. They'll say, okay, from 3 years, from 2 years, when you go to the market, you can get these things. The thing is that for us as parents, we need to have an open mind. When you have an open mind, you tend to see alternatives. You tend to see possibilities that, okay, since this is a skill I need to build in my toddler, what are the alternatives? What is the possibility that I can get something that is age appropriate that will help my child build this muscle in their hands, in their wrist, that will help my child build these fine motor skills. But when you have a closed mind, you just feel like, okay, my child is too young. I don't want to give my child writing materials till my child is of a certain age. But the thing is that when you do that as parents, you're actually not making use of that window of opportunity. You're not making use of that period which the child is expressing him or herself that, okay, this is the right time to do this. So as parents, our duty is to provide the resources. Go out, get used paper, get used newspapers, get writing materials, get markers, get coloring, just get things for your child, for your toddler to be busy, writing, coloring, and drawing. Because the more they do it, in fact, the more they even express themselves. Sometimes a child might not be able to tell you how the child feels, but sometimes you just realize that when your toddler draws and your toddler is trying to explain to you the meaning of the drawing, you'll be like, oh wow, I never even thought of this thing this way. Sometimes they tend to express the way they feel through drawing. So as a parent, what will you do? Allow them to be expressive by providing these resources for them to express themselves. Now, the second skill is cutting with scissors. Yes, cutting with scissors is a skill that helps a toddler build the muscles of their hands and of their wrists, therefore building the fine motor skills. So most times as parents, we get so scared. We say, oh, I don't want to give my child the scissors. I don't want my child to injure himself or herself. We just have a closed mind about it. But now we're getting to know that, okay, when a child cuts with scissors, it helps the child to build this muscle. So what will you do as a parent? You just have an open mind, as I said. You go out. Can I get a rubber scissors for my child to practice this thing? Can I get a blunt scissors that won't be of harm to my child? Can I get a blunt scissors or a rubber scissors and ensure I provide the proper guidance and supervision when my child is using the scissors? That is our duty as parents. But most times, we parents, we don't even want to see scissors. You don't even want your toddler to even touch a scissors. You don't even want your toddler to even see what the scissors is, because we already have in mind that, okay, when my toddler touches the scissors, my toddler is going to injure himself or herself. But the thing is that if you don't teach your toddler how to cut with the scissors, how will you teach your toddler how to be safe when using the scissors? So as a parent, you can go to the market, get rubber scissors, get scissors that are blunt, scissors that cannot injure your toddler. Ensure you supervise your toddler when your toddler is using the scissors, and you teach the child. You point the scissors down. You don't point the scissors up. You don't point the scissors to your face. You keep teaching and providing the necessary supervision. So let's go out there, get rubber scissors, blunt scissors for your child, and encourage the child to cut. Provide the child with paper to cut. Most time, because we want our clean space, we don't want our children to litter the house, and we just say, okay, no, I'm not giving you this piece of paper because I don't want you to litter the house. But when we do that, we are hindering something in our children. Go out. You can provide a safe space. You can provide a play area if you have the space, or you can just carve out a very small area. So, okay, this is the area you can sit down, cut your piece of paper, and you teach the child. When you're done cutting, you pack up your paper, you tidy up the space. That is our duty as parents. Our duty is to teach, to encourage our children as well, to provide the resources, not to hinder them from doing things that are age appropriate. Number three is clapping hands. Oh, we might think, oh, it's just easy to clap hands. Everybody clap their hands. But now we're getting to know that when your child claps his or her hands, it's helping to build the muscle of the hand and the muscle of the wrist. It's helping to build the fine motor skills of the child. So our duty as parents is to encourage our children to clap, create or provide opportunities for your child to clap. You can even be sitting there and can say, okay, come, let's clap our hands. You're clapping. You're not playing, but you're actually helping the child build fine motor skills. You could clap when you're singing, you're praying, just create room and opportunity to clap. Make it playful because children like play. So make it playful. Just clap with your child. The more your child claps, the more you encourages your child to clap, the more that your child builds his or her fine motor skills. Number four is waving. You're waving up our hands. We might think, oh, these things comes natural to everyone. But the truth is that these are skills our children need to build. And the thing is that when we are aware of these skills, we create the room, we create the opportunities for our children to do it, even in a playful way, even in a playful manner. Your child is playing and you're waving with your child, and your child is just smiling, thinking that, okay, I'm playing. But the child doesn't understand that, okay, I'm helping this child build the skill. So let's encourage our toddlers to wave. You can even wave with them. You can wave and they'll just join you. You can be waving and be, oh, mommy's waving or daddy's waving, and they'll just join in. You're thereby helping the child build this muscle of their hands and of their wrists. The number five, using utensils for eating or cutlery for eating. Yes, as parents, we should encourage our toddlers to be independent. When you see that your toddler is of a certain age, that the child is independent, encourage the child to eat by him or herself. Provide the necessary cutlery, because the more they do that, the more they move their muscle, the more they build the muscle of their hands and of their wrists. But sometimes we parents, we are so scared. Like, oh no, first of all, some parents will tell you, okay, I don't want the child to eat by himself because he's going to litter the floor. But the thing is that with practice comes perfection. Practice makes perfect. If our children don't get to practice eating by themselves, they might not be perfect at it. So it's okay for them to make the mess. It's okay for them to make the mistake. It's okay for the food to spill on the floor, because it's all part of the whole process of learning. It's all part of the process of growing. So don't be the parent that is scared of encouraging your child to eat, to be independent, like to eat on their own, because you don't want your house to be littered. You don't want your child to pour or litter his food, to waste the food, to mess up the whole area. No. If you see that your child is of a certain age, the child have achieved a certain form of independence, you provide the cutlery set for the child to eat. You teach the child, you supervise, and you guide. Because the more the child does it by him or herself, the more the child builds this muscle of their hands and of their wrists, thereby helping them to build these fine motor skills they need to thrive in life. So encourage your toddlers to eat by themselves. Encourage them to do activities that move their hands and their wrists. Then we have the next key, which is brushing of our teeth. Encourage your toddlers to brush their teeth. Most of us parents want to do everything for our toddlers. We don't even want to give them opportunity to try. But the truth is that these children can actually do most of the things we think they can't do. And most of these things that we do for our children, sometimes we do it when it's actually the window of opportunity for our children to do these things. It's like this is the right time for this child to learn the skill. You have a toddler, and the toddler is crying whenever you're brushing your teeth. The toddler wants to hold the brush. The toddler wants to brush himself or herself. But most of us, they know you're not going to brush your teeth properly. Your teeth will not be white. Your teeth will not be clean. For that reason, I'm going to brush it for you. Sit down. Let me brush your teeth for you. Yes, it's okay to help your toddler clean up the teeth. But first of all, give your toddler the toothbrush. Give your toddler the toothbrush and the toothpaste to try to brush their teeth themselves. By so doing, it's helping them build this muscle of their hands, of their wrists. It's helping them build these fine motor skills. Then when your toddler is done brushing, if you think, okay, he or she has not done it properly, I need to just clean up. I just need to just clean up properly. You can now go and clean and help your toddler. But don't hinder your toddler from making the first step or from making the first attempt. Give them an opportunity to make the first attempt or to try. Then when they try, if there is something you need to do better, you can use it to teach them, and you can try to help them clean it better. But provide the resources, provide the opportunity for them to clean up their teeth themselves, because it's actually a way of helping them build fine motor skills. The other one is tying up your shoes. Yes. Encourage your toddlers to put on their shoes themselves. Most of us parents will say, oh no, if my toddler wears his or her shoe, he's going to wear it the wrong way. He's going to wear it the right leg in the left leg. right shoe in the left leg, left shoe in the right leg, he's not going to wear it properly. But the truth is that the more they do these things, the more they get to learn. In fact, if your toddler doesn't even try, how will a toddler even know that this right shoe is meant to go to the right leg, or this left shoe is meant to go to the left leg? They need to try. They need to even make the mistake and even learn from the mistake. But what we parents do most of the time is that we even prevent our children from making mistakes. But the truth is that there is always something to learn from mistakes. When you make mistake, you see an opportunity to teach. When your toddler makes mistake, okay, your toddler has not worn his shoe or her shoe properly, you see it as an opportunity to teach the toddler. It's obvious that this child doesn't know how to wear the shoe properly. So what do as a parent? You teach. So we should encourage our toddlers to tie their shoes, to put on their shoes themselves. You could even get those shoes that have rope or laces, so that the toddler will fix it his or by himself. Initially, your toddler will be crying. Your toddler will be like, oh, mommy or daddy, I can't do this thing. It's hard. I can't do it. But with proper encouragement, with proper guidance, over time, you might see your toddler picking up and, they might get to do these things by themselves. And the more they do it by themselves, the more you're helping them, because they are building the muscle, the muscle of their hands, of their wrists. They are building these fine motor skills that they need to achieve or to thrive in life. So please don't be the type of parents that want to always put on your toddler's shoe for him or herself. Allow the child to try. The child can actually do it. When you see that your toddler is of a certain age, the toddler can move around from point A to point B. Allow the child to try. Even if the child makes a mistake, he or she doesn't get the shoe properly, give them room, give them opportunity to keep trying and continue to teach. Our job is to teach, to guide, and to provide the right resources for our children. Don't shield, don't prevent them from doing things that are age appropriate for their age. Then the next skill is turning the pages of a book. Most of us parents were so scared when our toddlers pick up our book or a piece of paper. You're so scared, oh my God, I don't want this toddler to tear this book. I don't want this child to tear this book. And our immediate instinct is to collect the book from the toddler. But what if you provide the right book for your toddler? You now say, okay, no, you tell your toddler, okay, this book is not for play. This book is for daddy or for mommy. You can have this book. But with proper supervision, you're watching your toddler is flipping through the pages of a book. The toddler is not actually wasting his or her time. The toddler is actually learning a skill. But most time, because we parents, we are like, oh God, I don't want this child to, tear this book. We just collect it from the child. I don't think that should be the right thing. The right thing is to provide the book for the child. Encourage the child to flip through the pages. While the child is flipping through the pages, you're supervising. And when the child tries to tear the book, you teach the child that this book is not meant to be torn. That is our duty as parents. So provide the right books for your child, for your toddler. If you have a used book that you want to discard, or a used newspaper you want to discard, or a piece of paper you want to discard, give it to your toddler so that your toddler can actually be flipping through. Because the more they flip through, the more they build the skill. Then the other one we're going to look at is buttoning up of his shirts. We should encourage our toddlers to button their shirts. Sometimes they will cry, oh, it's difficult. I can't do it. It's hard. Yes, it's okay to be hard. It's okay for it to be difficult. But our job or our duty as parents is to encourage them to keep trying, because the more they try, the more they might just get perfect at it. And the more they build these fine motor skills. So encourage your toddler to button up his or her shirt by themselves. Don't be the bailout parent. Don't be the parent that will say, oh no, you cannot button your shirt. Oh, let me help you. Your child has not even worn the clothes. You want to button the shirt. Allow the child to try. Let the child make an attempt first. Then you can now come in and teach and help. So these are examples of fine motor skills that we can see our children exhibiting, and we can come in to help them, to encourage them to even do it the more, because we know that the more they perform these skills, the more they build this muscle that they need. So I'm going to share with us some of the ways we can help our children, in addition to what we've discussed, help our children build these fine motor skills. So what are those activities you can begin to do in the comfort of your home, within your space, that can help your toddler build these skills? Number one is cooking. Cooking is a very good skill to teach anybody, in fact, your toddlers. We should not be the type of parent that will chase our children from the kitchen. You're cooking because you don't want disturbance. You don't want your toddler to spill water. You don't want your toddler to disorganize the kitchen. Most of us parents, what we do, sit down here. You just push the child to one corner so that you'll be fast with your cooking. You might be fast with your cooking, but when you involve your toddler, you're going to achieve more, because you're teaching your toddler how to build fine motor skill, and you're also teaching your toddler a skill, which is cooking, that they need in life. So don't be that kind of parents that will always say, oh, I want to get this thing done. I want to just cook and get this thing done. My daughter is just going to disturb me. I don't have strength. I don't have strength. I used to, sometimes I used to be in that space that, oh, you're tired. You just want to cook and just, go and rest or do something. But your toddler is there. So as parents, our duty is to get our toddlers involved. Most times, our toddlers want to help out. They want to pour water. They want you to put on the tap. They want to pick the beans. They want to pick the vegetable. Do you get? They want to be involved, but most times we don't even allow them to be involved. So cooking is a way to help our toddlers build this fine motor skill. So what do? When you're cooking? Get your toddler involved. Age appropriate. Give your toddler age appropriate tasks to do. Some parents will say, okay, I don't want my child to go close to the gas. Yes, your child is not going close to the gas because you're definitely going to be there to supervise your child. But give the child age-appropriate activity. You could be cutting vegetable, probably you're cutting carrot, and you can give the child a big chunk of carrot to play with it. Or probably the child wants to wash his hands. The child wants to put his hands in the tap. The child wants to feel the vegetable. The child wants to pick something. You're cutting plantain, your child wants to cut. You give the child probably a half plantain and a knife that is not sharp, that is blunt, a rubber knife, probably a baby knife that is blunt. Just encourage the child to cook, because the more the child does this, the more it helps the child build his fine motor skills. So please, parents, we should not shield our toddlers from cooking, because cooking is a skill they even need in life. Cooking is very, very important for everyone to learn as a skill. And no child is too young to learn how to cook. Some parents will say, my child is 1 year, my child cannot enter the kitchen. No, even a 1-year-old can enter the kitchen and do things that a 1-year-old can do. A 1-year-old can enter the kitchen and do age-appropriate things. Definitely, you're not just going to throw your child out there to do things that is not safe. You're going to supervise, you're going to guide, and you're going to give age-appropriate tasks with age-appropriate tools, for example, getting a baby knife, just a small knife, eating knife that is for a baby, getting the right things for your toddler, but making this child involved in cooking. Then the second way we can help our toddlers build this skill is by gardening. Yes, we should encourage our toddlers to participate in the gardening. Most of us parents will say, no, this my child will just come and be pouring the sand everywhere. The child will just mess up the place. The child will dirty here. No. The truth is that those things that we think that they are messing up everywhere, those are the things that are helping them build the skills. Most parents will say, no, I don't want you to go out though. I don't want you to go out. You are too young. Don't go out. No. When you do that, you're preventing your child from achieving the skill they need in life. So encourage your child to go out. If you have a garden, encourage your child to go out. When you're going out to do your gardening, encourage your child to go out with you. It's possible that the duty of your child could just be picking stone from point A to point B. It's something. The child could pack some sand from point A to point B. The child could pluck off some leaf. It's something. The more the child does that, the more the child is building the skill the child needs to thrive in life. The other way we can help our toddlers build this skill is by sewing. Encourage your toddlers to sew. You can get there's this thread that is very big, like fat. You can get a fat thread. Just encourage your toddler to do anything that will have to do with movements of their hands. When you go out there and you see something that is safe, is appropriate for my toddler, definitely with proper guidance, you can just give your toddler to try. You can give your toddler to try to strap this thread from this hole to this hole. Doing that, you're helping your toddler build fine motor skills. Then the other way is fixing and making things. Allow your toddlers to fix things. Most toddlers want to help us fix things at home. That is just the truth. Most toddlers want to help us make things, but because we parents, sometimes you might just be tired. Probably you're coming back from work, you're stressed. You don't even want your toddler to even explore. You're like, please, I don't want, I'm just tired. But the truth is that we should create this space within us to encourage our toddlers to fix things. Your toddler want to fix things, want to join two pieces of paper together, want to mix one toy A and toy B together. They just want to mix things. They just want to fix things. Don't always be quick to say stop. Don't always be that parent that will be quick to say don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. No. At first, it might be your initial instinct, but as parents, we should just sit down and relax and let me even see what this child wants to do. And sometimes you'll be so wowed at the level of reasoning these toddlers have, the way they fix things. They might just fix two toys and they might explain it to you and you'll be like, oh God, this is beautiful. So allow them to fix things. Don't always shut them down. Don't always tell them, oh, stop, what are you even fixing? Listen, what is the meaning of this? No. Allow them to fix things around the house, provided it's safe, provided you're guiding them, you're supervising them. Allow them to fix things in the house. Then the other one is peeling and placing stickers. Yes, there are some stickers. There are these baby stickers, If you go out there, you can get it for your toddlers. Allow them to play with the stickers, to to remove the stickers to fix. You can even teach them how to create their own stickers. The more they do that, the more they move this muscle, the more it helps them build the muscle of their hands. Then crumpling paper, ripping of paper. Oh my God. Most times we parents, we don't even like that part. Even me, sometimes I'll be like, oh God, here we go again. We don't like that part. We don't want our toddlers to rip paper. We don't want them to just litter the house. But the truth is that this is one of the ways they can build these fine motor skills. So encourage the toddler to rip the paper, encourage the toddler to tear the paper. If you have any used paper, used book, probably in your office, used newspapers that they want to discard, that is not confidential, that doesn't have confidential information, give your child to rip, give your child to tear, because the more they rip, the more they tear, the more they build the skills. So please, I know we want our clean space, but we must encourage our children and must create the space and the opportunity for our children to practice these skills. Then the last one is placing coins in a piggy bank. Yes, there's this piggy bank you can get for your toddler if you feel it's okay for you. Placing coins, even if you might just be like, okay, these coins are not safe. I don't want my child to hand. There are some rubber, there are some sweets that look like coins. You can give it to your child, provided the child is moving the muscle of their hands and of their wrists. So these are some of the ways and many more that we can help our children build these fine motor skills. So as parents, we should encourage our children to build the skills, create the right space, create the right room for your child to express themselves, to explore themselves. Our homes should be built for our children first. Our homes should be built first, considering our children, considering the ages of our children, considering the developmental milestones of our children first. We should create this space for our children to explore themselves. So as parents, let us be the parents that will encourage our children to build the skills, and don't be that kind of parent that will always stop this child from building the skill, or shut this child down or up from building the skills. Let us create the right room, the right environment, proper supervision, and proper guidance for our children to build these fine motor skills. So thank you very much for listening to me today. I do appreciate your time. Thank you so much. I believe you've got value from this class. Please like our video, share this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, share with family and friends. I believe it will definitely bless toddler parents and those that have toddlers around them. Thank you very much. Do have a great day, and remember to be renewed in your mind. Thank you, and see you later. Bye.